Good afternoon. This is Lunchtime News. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon here on KBC Channel 1. Our sign language interpreter is Brian Muraro. My name is Wambiru, and to interact with us, you can interact with us on our social media handles at KBC Channel 1. Now, to kick us off, we shall be taking a look at education matters, where the Cabinet Secretary for the Ministry of Education, Julius Migori, is inaugurating the National Committee on Review of the new university funding model. Let's listen in.
But you're addressing the public, and that matter has been in the interest of the ministry for the last 1 year. And we are hoping that you, Waziri, and the team, that we shall solve this issue of funding formula with a very workable scientific MTI, with verifiable variables, with weighted validators, so that we don't actually have students who are actually placed differently. Two, on the issue of JSS, I think the ministry is doing quite a lot. And I think, Waziri, can you kindly publicize? And we want to thank you because right now we have the matching fund, the 3.4 billion from the NGCDF, 3.4 billion from the ministry. Coupled with the matching fund and the work you are doing on the ground, we really want to know, give us a report on how many classes will be ready by January 2025. And lastly, on the issue of CBC, let us move with speed and make sure that every stakeholder in the society that matters, be it a teacher, be it a parent, be it the Ministry of Education officials, and all of us, get to know what is going on as we transition to grade 9, to grade 10, the various pathways. Let everybody discuss it even in the marketplace and know what a pathway is, and which school is going to be in which pathway. Is it STEM? Is it on the sports and sciences or the social sciences? It's very important, Waziri. So for the first time in appearing on a committee, we say you've done well, especially what the members are saying. Is it? You know, that is it. But we want to see actionable things. Yes. Thank you so much. Asanteni sana. Thank you.
Thank you.
Asante. Murada, you've given yourself a job to do. And,
Well, those live pictures are from the KICC, whereby the National Committee on Review of the new university funding model was being inaugurated by the Education Cabinet Secretary, Julius Migori. Well, we shall be keeping you updated in our subsequent bulletins. For now, we move on. A family from Kirinyaga village in Makueni Sub-County, Makueni County, is seeking justice for the Akin who was allegedly badly shaved and his head hurt using a kitchen knife by a police officer from Matiliku police station. Sources allege the victim, Mwendwa Muteti, a boda rider, was arrested after an altercation with a police officer at a local joint in Matiliku Township. The police officer is reported to have reached for a knife which was used to cause the injury before other boda operators intervened and rushed the victim to Matiliku Sub-County Hospital.
Yule alinishika nywele hivi, akaninyoa na kisu. Sasa mimi nilisikia kisu imeingia ndani, nikamwambia mbona umenikata? Yeye kuangalia akaona ni damu inamwangika. Sasa akaniacha, akaanza kuniambia niende hospitalini. Mimi nikakataa kwenda hospitalini.
He was bleeding when he came to us. Our team was able to manage that situation, and we were able to clean the wound and arrest the bleeding. And early in the morning, the patient was discharged from the facility well and in a stable condition.
Askari lazima wajibike, na mwenye ambaye amefanya hiyo kitendo ya kunyoa kijana na kumkata na kisu na pia wakampiga Samuel, alimchapa sana mpaka akafuja damu kila pahali. Mimi nasema huyo askari lazima hatua ichukuliwe.
Residents of Kirinyaga, Ongatarungai in Kajiado North Sub-County have raised concerns over a gas plant operating in a residential area. According to the county special plan, the plant is located is earmarked as a residential area and not an industrial zone. The locals who convened a crisis meeting say the gas refilling plant operating in a small plot surrounded by rental apartments and residential home is a ticking time bomb that endangers their lives. They are now calling on the Energy and Petroleum Regulatory Authority and concerned agencies to investigate the operation of the plant, further calling for its relocation.
To have an LPG gas plant in a residential plant area has been a major concern.
Kiwanda itakuja kuleta shida kama moto ukitokea, itakuja kumaliza watu wengi na kuchoma manyumba mingi sana. Iko karibu na barabara hii ya Kebani Road, na vile tunaona hata hii magari yao ya gas kuingia hapo inakuwa ni shida. Shauri ni lazima traffic inasimamishwa ndio hiyo gari itoke ama ingie.
It is the wrong place kulingana na special plan na kulingana pia na IDEP ambayo ni ya municipality. Kwa hiyo kama municipality tungeomba na kushukuru wananchi pia wameweza kuongea na kupiga kelele. Tunaunga mkono kabisa.
The judiciary has been urged to fast-track sexual abuse cases relating to children in the country and ensure perpetrators face the full force of the law. According to Cradle, Children's Rights Foundation, defilement cases in the country as well as other crimes against children are on the rise, with the culprits walking free. Speaking during the launch of Children's Rights Advocacy in Nairobi, speakers in the forum further called for a legislative framework to be enacted to ensure the girl child is fully insulated from cultural practices that disempower her.
With regards to female genital mutilation, continue to offer pro bono legal representation to the victims of sexual and gender-based violence. We support the National Council on Administration of Justice, SGBV Committee on the amendment of the Sexual Offences Act 2006. The Cradle again offers to continue offering technical support to the Directorate of Criminal Investigation, that's the Child Protection Unit.
Why would you want to do budgetary cuts on things that affect children when we limit? I know people who are dealing with the issue of HIV and AIDS may be saying, maybe I'm not looking at that aspect. But sex is a choice. Protecting a child is actually, it should be an obligation. It shouldn't be a choice. So even when we are making those cuts, we shouldn't be negotiating on things that affect the most vulnerable of our society.
Whether you rape a child, someone, if she's, let's say, 5 years, and even an old person who is 70 years, it should be the same sentence.
Matatu operators in Cambo County say they will boycott paying county government levies from the month of October to protest the huge number of unlicensed vehicles operating in public bus parks across the county. Speaking in Cambo town during a road safety awareness program, the county Matatu chairman David Wanganga said the Matatu operators need an interpretation of the Traffic Act in a court of law after attempts to reach the county governor Kimani Wamatangi were futile. The stakeholders now say the high number of unlicensed seater vehicles have brought an unfair competition and compromised their businesses while operating illegally.
Akikataa kutusikiza, sasa na sisi tukatae kumlipa. kwa sababu yeye hana haja na sisi na hataki kusikiria sisi, na hiyo ndio mutito tutaenda. Tumeongea na watu wa NDSA wakatuambia hiyo magari haitaki kubeba watu, inatakiwa kubeba mambo ya tax.
And with that we are saying our business will not be run by the county officials. It has to be run by the owners. And at no time are we going to accept that.
In other news, leaders in Kilifi now want the locals who have been issued with their title deeds to guard them jealously and use land as a means of production and advance their livelihoods. The leaders said for long, residents of the coast have been squatters in their land, and the issuance of the title deeds mark a significant milestone.
Kilifi County tumekuwa tukilia lele mama na mambo ya uskwota. Tutapeana hati miliki 53 ambayo katika hati zile zina ukubwa wa ekari 250.
And now we cross over to the Jubilee Party headquarters, where Jubilee Party is addressing members of the fourth estate deliberating the current state of the nation. Well, that is Jeremiah Kioni, who's the Jubilee Party Secretary General. Let's listen in.
To impeach either Ruto himself or Gachagua in Parliament. There will be those who will be saying yes, there are those who will be saying no, and there are many others who will abstain. Ruto understands this from the beginning, that he does not have numbers to impeach Gachagua. Kwa hivyo, ile iko ni kipidi. Ile munaita kipidile. This is yet another of the diversionary tactics that has been used by William. Now he will continue using them. Remember, we had the Azimio demonstrations. Akatuletea kipidile ya Nadiko. Kukakuwa na mambo ya Gen Z. Akaleta kipidi ya broad-based government. And all these things are meant to ensure that we forget the big issues that are facing us as Kenyans. The problems that are facing us, and especially the young people of this country. Kila mmoja Kenya sasa anajua mambo ya Adani. Adani has become an embarrassment to us as a nation. You saw Badi himself yesterday, the newcomer in this government, who was sent there so that he can give his expertise, completely unable to explain what Adani is to the Senate. Adani has also gotten into the health sector.
Well, those are Jubilee Party Secretary General Jeremiah Kioni's sentiments, unlike the corporations. Now, moving on, leaders in Kilifi now want locals. Rather, we shall be... I do apologize for that hitch. We shall be crossing over to a different report whereby Homa Bay County Commissioner Moses Lilan has issued a stern warning to individuals engaging in illegal activities, among them illegal fishing and child labor around Lake Victoria. Now, speaking after a crackdown, Lilan disclosed that there is a drastic reduction of fish from 100,000 metric tons to 39,000 metric tons, urging fishermen to comply with fishing regulations. The warning comes as part of a larger multi-sectoral effort to combat illegal fishing practices spearheaded by the Kenya Fisheries Service.
Of unsustainable extraction of the fish resource in the lake, where even small fingerlings and even breeding areas where we get the fish eggs are being, there is wanton destruction of those areas. There are even these other fishing practices that are outlawed as per regulation, popularly known as a bunglu. And this has been ongoing for a while across the entire stretch of the lake. It is important to note that if we allowed these practices to continue in this manner, we run the risk of losing the valuable fish resource in Lake Victoria.
African governments have been challenged to prioritize submitting the national determined contribution, a climate action plan ahead of the upcoming COP29 led by African group of negotiators. Experts support. The climate experts say that the NDCs will help in cementing African position in pushing for the acquisition of climate finance, among other benefits.
Speaking countries,
In a 4 days pre-COP conference that has brought together climate experts and researchers, Parliamentarians Bureau and African Group of Negotiators expert support to cement Africa's position ahead of the COP29.
From this meeting, we expect that our position is clear because we are interfacing with African negotiators. These are negotiators. They are at the UNCCC Conference of Parties. And therefore, harmonizing as a continent is very key.
Calls have been made for African countries to finalize on their NDCs that will help in pushing Africa's agenda.
As we proceed to COP29, we intend to put more pressure on the West and the polluting countries to make true their commitments on funding for adaptation efforts in Africa. We are seeing an increase in climate-related security events. Indeed, most of the security instances or incidences in Africa are climate-related.
There's been a lot of discussion about the commitments that countries are making to solve the climate challenge, how they will reduce greenhouse gas emissions, how they will be addressing climate impacts and be building the resilience of farmers and communities across different countries. But a lot of this talk has been around the commitments of what they will do and what they can put down on paper.
The climate experts also emphasize on the importance of incorporating women in decision-making bodies in regards to climate matters.
So in the planning and budgeting, prioritization to be given to issues that women are facing. This doesn't always mean that we are putting more money in. We could look at the current pot that we have and look at how we can better allocate the resources that we have so that those who are most vulnerable, and many times those are women, are able to get the services they need.
Some of the key areas expected to be addressed in the pre-conference include transboundary climate adaptation, climate finance, a roadmap for parliamentary work, and global goal on adaptations mechanism. Opicha Chemtai for Lunchtime News.
Still on matters education, the government has been urged to increase capitation for learners in special schools. This was the clarion call during a deaf awareness campaign in Busia County as Kenya joined the world in marking Deaf Awareness Month. Speaking during a procession to raise awareness on challenges facing the deaf community, Mondika Special School Head teacher Ruth Nyange said most education funds are pumped towards day schools, which is a challenge to boarders with special needs. She also called on Kenyans to embrace learning sign language as the country has a few sign language teachers and interpreters. The theme of this year's Deaf Awareness campaign is Sign Up for Sign Language Rights.
For you, it's impossible. You must go to the hospital with an interpreter. Most of the special children are boarders, and the capitation that is given is for the scholars, especially for the JS, making it difficult for the school administration or the board of management to run the school with a very minimal capitation. Suna West Member of Parliament Peter Mathara has
slump the court order that stated the National Government Constituency Development Fund is unconstitutional. The Fund Act 2015 was declared unconstitutional by the High Court. Justices Kanyi Kemondo, Migori, Thande and Roslyn Aburili now stating that its projects, programs and activities shall cease to operate come June 30th, 2026. Speaking during the educational stakeholders meeting that was graced by school principals, Kupet and NAT officials, the Director of Education and TSC in Migori Town, Masara, stated that NGF-CDF was of public interest to the people of Kenya. He continued that he will respect the court's decision but cautioned against centralizing capitation, noting it will disadvantage the needy student at the grassroots level.
Ensuring that we cognizant of what the CDF has done over a period of time, I believe we need to look for a way of ensuring that we retain NGCDF fund to constituencies. Many schools in Sona West, you are aware because you have been here for some times, there were no labs in schools. We didn't have many girls' secondary schools the way we have now. There are so many primary schools which are in existence courtesy of NGCDF fund. Many students are joining university courtesy of NGCDF bursary. Capitation has failed, and it's being done with one source as the manager. Why do you think if you merge all bursaries, there will be a success? We talk about devolution, then we talk about centralization. So something is amiss in the minds of those who are agitating or are talking about merging bursaries. I'm a believer in devolution. These things should go back down to the ward level. We need to have even ward development fund.
Well, that report brings us to our first break here on Lunchtime News. Don't go too far, we still have more news coming up.
Are you okay?
I'm fine.
Are you sure?
I'm sorry.
Are you sure?
Oh,
my love, my love. Honey, Isabel.
Have you finished talking to your dear wife? You sure can spring surprises, Anibal. But you're already married.
Danielle, what's going on here?
We're just negotiating, but it's impossible to talk sense with your brother.
Get out of here!
You see, that is why I didn't want to tell you, Dad. Just as you once trusted me, I am asking you to please do it again. I will not allow that to happen. I swear that I will not allow this sawmill to go bankrupt.
Wildlands.
Ever crazy. Undoubtedly entertaining. And mind-boggling. The savage netizens capturing that unique moment.
Welcome back. This is Lunchtime News. Tourism and Worldlife Cabinet Secretary Rebecca Miano has challenged communities in Samburu to find an amicable way of coexisting with wildlife, which she termed the country's heritage. Speaking at Sere Olipi in Samburu County during the celebration to mark the International Rhinos Day, Miano said Kenya was reaping big from the tourism sector and wildlife was key, hence the need to protect the country's prized wildlife. The CS commended the work being done at the Sere Wildlife Conservancy and Rhino Sanctuary, saying it was something to be emulated.
We want to encourage existence between human and wildlife instead of conflicts, and what we have seen here is a very, very good example. we all have to preserve and conserve not only our rhinos, but all our animals. We know that any rhino that is lost, that can mean losing a whole species. And so we encourage everyone to conserve and stay away from activities that will endanger the lives of our animals.
Residents of Migori town have expressed dissatisfaction over poor waste management in the region, which they say has exposed them to health-related hazards. The locals, led by business vendors in Sokomjinga, decried the heavy accumulation of garbage in areas near business premises and residential areas, saying it has adversely affected business operations in the town. They are now calling on the county government to urgently implement proper waste management measures to curb the menace.
Tuko na municipality managers ambayo imesimamia hizi vitu. Sasa hatujui shida iko wapi kwa hiyo kutoka kwa hiyo ofisi. Kwa sababu container iko hapa tena imejaa, tena wanaangalia. Sasa naomba tu serikali angalia vile hizi takataka zitatoka hapa. Kwa sababu area hii watu wameishi. Hapa iko na biashara na watu wadogo pia iko.
Mimi hasa inaniua kwa sababu biashara yangu imekuwa ikididimia. Watu wananiambia inakuwaje unafanya hapo kando na takataka, na hata watu wenyewe hawashughuliki vizuri. Kila ukipita hapo harufu yenyewe sio safi. Watoto wanakuwa choked na hiyo harufu mbaya. Watoto wa shule, we have a nearby school hapa kama Muslim schools, na hiyo ndio njia watoto wetu wanapita. Umejua imekuwa changamoto juu afya yao pia inakuwa hatari.
Inanuka sana na tunalipa ushuru. Sasa hiyo tunaona serikali atusaidie ili tukae kwa mazingira safi.
Now, hundreds of creative artists and filmmakers across Embu County benefited from a free training on production of clean content organized by Kenya Film Classification Board. According to KFCB Acting Chief Manager Corporate Services Nelly Maluka, the forums aim to address challenges and opportunities available in the creative arts economy to spur growth while affirming their commitment in creating a conducive environment for the growth of the film industry. The Embu Forum was the third after Kisumu and Nakuru in a series of engagements with artists and filmmakers lined up across the country.
If you realize the richest people in the world globally and as per the research are within the creative economy. And if you look at our country, Kenya, we have a youthful population. We also have very fast internet. We have availability of smartphones and other gadgets that can capture film. And at the same time, we have youth that are active and are eager to do this.
We monitor to ensure there is compliance of that particular content. So, and that's what we will do. They had been gazetted, they are yet to be taken to Parliament, and once they have now enacted and become law, they'll become effective.
Busia County Government has forged a partnership with the British High Commission and the Kenya Information Communication and Technology Network that will see residents from the county have access to digital platforms. The partnership, which is part of a broader initiative targeting Busia and Mandera counties, was launched by the county boss Paul Otuoma alongside Deputy British High Commissioner Ed Burnett, who said this move will enhance digital inclusion for the residents and at the same time foster social economic empowerment among the residents. The locals are now being urged to take advantage of these access to reap the benefits.
by enhancing digital exclusivity, will ensure universal access to digital resources and technology, fostering socio-economic empowerment among marginalized groups.
And here in Busia, we want to translate that commitment into tangible support for your new agricultural digital platform, with a focus on ensuring that people who are often excluded become included.
Well, this week on the Cabinet, we take a closer look at one of the prominent figures in President Mwai Kibaki's Cabinet, Peter Njeru Ndwega. With a diverse career spanning both business and politics, Ndwega served in the Cooperative Development Ministry, where he championed initiatives like the listing of Kenya coffee as a key export to the US and the revival of KCC. Let's take a look. Peter Njeru Ndwega was born on 4th January 1954 in Manyatta and attended Kibogo Primary School before moving to Kamama Secondary School and then Siakago High School. He attended Cooperative University College for a diploma in business administration in 2014. He had a professional career before going into elective politics in 1992. From 1975 to 1976, he worked for Coca-Cola as an assistant accountant. In 1977, he joined American Insurance Company as a sales representative and was promoted to unit manager in 1979. In 1984, he became the company's agency manager in charge of the Mount Kenya region. The political collaboration between Mwai Kibaki and Ndwega that culminated in his appointment to the cabinet started in 1991 in the formative days of the Democratic Party, which Kibaki founded. He easily retained his seat in 1997 via the same party. Ndwega was committed to Kibaki's cause and did a lot of heavy lifting to rally the 4 constituencies in his region, Siakago and Gashoka in Bere, and Manyatta and Runyenjes in Embu, to support Kibaki when he ran for president in 1992. Ndwega was one of the legislators who rode to Parliament on a DP ticket in the same year, being elected as the Member of Parliament for Runyenjes constituency. When DP joined with other opposition parties to form the National Rainbow Coalition NAC in preparation for the 2002 general election, Ndwega moved with Kibaki. It was after he had won his seat by a comfortable margin on a NAC ticket that Kibaki appointed him to the cabinet. He was appointed Minister for Cooperative Development and Marketing in the first of President Mwai Kibaki's 2 terms. The Member of Parliament for Manyatta constituency was also the only cabinet minister at the time from the then Embu and Bere districts. One of Ndwega's achievements during his time at the helm of the Ministry of Cooperative Development and Marketing was to have Kenyan coffee listed as one of the country's exports to the United States of America. This was facilitated by the African Growth Opportunity Agreement, AGOA. In the new agreement, Kenyan coffee would be fully processed, packaged and sold to the US under a Kenyan brand name. Before then, local coffee was auctioned at the Nairobi Coffee Exchange in its raw form. Buyers would then process and resell it under their brand names at higher prices. He also oversaw the writing off of debts so as to salvage cash-strapped cooperative societies. In August 2003, the minister facilitated the injection of 600 million shillings into KCC to cushion dairy farmers from low milk prices during the high milk supply season. The KCC revival was no doubt one of the success stories of Kibaki's administration. In 2007, Nduiga contested the Manyata parliamentary seat with all the advantages of incumbency. By that time, he had maintained his grip on the seat for 15 years, but in an unexpected turn of events, Nduiga was floored in the elections by Emilio Kathuri, a businessman. The loss saw him exit Kibaki's cabinet, and the cooperative's docket was handed to Joseph Nyaga in the 2008 Grand Coalition government that had Kibaki as president and Raila as prime minister. On 10th April 2012, President Kibaki appointed him chairman of the Export Promotion Council for a term of 3 years. In 2014, President Uhuru Kenyatta appointed Nduiga chairman of Tanathi Water Services Board, and in 2017, Nduiga made a political comeback when he was elected senator for Embu County. He then chaired the Senate Agriculture Committee. In 2022, he joined the UDA and lost in the party primaries. Jackie Wambiru, the Cabinet. Well, now on to business news, where we shall be crossing over to Jamhuri grounds, where it's day 2 of the Nairobi International Trade Fair 2024, spearheaded by the Agricultural Society of Kenya, running from September 23rd to 29th, dubbed Promoting Climate Smart Agriculture and Trade Initiatives for Sustainable Economic Growth. We now join our reporter, Carol Jengo, for an update of day 2. Carol, kindly bring us to speed.
Thank you to link up with you, Jackie Wambiru, this afternoon. We are still here, the second day of the Nairobi International Trade Fair, organized by the Agriculture Society of Kenya, ASK. It's an annual show, happens on a yearly basis. And of course, the theme has been promoting climate smart agriculture and trade initiatives for sustainable economic development. That has been the theme that has cut across all stands and exhibitors right here at the Jamhuri grounds. And where I am standing right now, if my cameraman can pan, is a demonstration garden or a demonstration farm done by the 4K Club and young farmers from across the country. And this project has been ongoing since July. Of course, planting happened for other crops much later, but this is just a demonstration of what these shows are doing for our young children, our young kids who are in school, who are passionate about farming. And of course, we want to ensure that it's not just for the old. Farming also can be taken up by the young people. And this is just a demonstration of what the Ministry of Agriculture, together with Elgon Kenya, they are doing right here at the Jamhuri grounds, just to showcase what the other schools are doing across the country. And just to talk to us about this, I am joined by an official from the Ministry of Agriculture to talk to us about the 4K Club and how they've been, of course, bringing on board school-going children to plant and as well farm in various farms across the country. If you can join us right here, madam, you can start telling us your name and also what you represent and talk to us about the 4K Club.
Thank you very much. My name is Jane Jero from the Ministry of Agriculture, Youth in Agriculture Unit, and this is where we are implementing the 4K Clubs program. All primary and junior schools countrywide to establish 4K clubs.
Okay. I want to know about this project. This project has been done by children, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm. This project has been done by children. The idea is to showcase different technologies that other schools can pick up and do in their own schools. Okay. So we show them the technologies and we show them how to do it. The motto of 4K Club is learning by doing.
Mm-hmm. And I know that you have partnered with with Elgon Kenya in terms of ensuring that this project is rolled out in various schools. I want you to talk about that project.
Thank you. Elgon Kenya is supporting us. They give us inputs to start up the demonstration plots. They have also helped us to make sure that when we bring in chemicals, we are able to teach the learners how and when the right time to use chemicals. They have also been very supportive in our general project. When we run competitions, when we are identifying 4K Clubs champions, they have really come in to support us, and we are very appreciative of that.
And I can see there are various crops that have been planted here. And I know this is a modern way of planting. The old way is gone.
Thank you. This year, just in line with the theme, we are promoting climate smart technologies. Here we are trying to look for the most innovative and energy efficient methods, and thereby ensuring that we are protecting our environment. So we are promoting climate smart technologies like the drip irrigation systems, and we have shown them even in a small scale, and also ensuring that whatever we are promoting can be traded and it can raise funds for our 4K clubs, and thereby we're able to show them that in future they can make money from farming.
Thank you so much. And I know this has been a partnership that has been happening for the last 1 year. I know ASK resumed last year, and of course they have been partnering with Elgon Kenya to talk about, to promote young farmers. And I am joined by an officiate from Elgon Kenya just to talk to us about this partnership with Ministry of Agriculture. But you can start with your name as well. I'll hold it for you.
Okay, my name is Nelson Maina. I work for Elgon Kenya Limited. Elgon Kenya is an agro-input company. We do fertilizer, irrigation, and chemicals. Why you ask me why we support the 4K Club, young farmers? As a company, we believe the future of this country is in the youth. So that's why we support the 4K Club. And I can tell you we have seen changes which are happening with the young ones. Because you see, in Kenya, we used to know, or we know, the agriculture is for the old, uneducated, and poor. But now we want to train them from the early age that agriculture is a big business and there's money in agriculture. That's why we support them, and you can see how it's changing their lives. Also, I can talk about the National Farmers Award. Tomorrow, there are winners who will be rewarded by the president because of farming. You see, and I can tell you for sure it has changed lives of the farmers.
And also this is happening for the young farmers as well? Yes,
exactly. Tomorrow the 4K Club will also be rewarded by the president. Yeah, because of what they across the country. In fact, we are doing with about over 2,000 schools across the country. And I'm telling you, it has changed their lives because some of the schools who are here, they have brought themselves. They have sowed the crop in the ground. They have paid their transport, and that's why they are here. Yes.
So this partnership, I would like to know, I know you have said over 2,000 schools that you have partnered with. What are the young learners learning from this kind of demonstration farm?
You see now, 4K Club is learning by doing. So what we are doing, as the company, we are supporting them with the plots, with the irrigation, with the seeds, with agronomy services. Then they are doing it by themselves.
Well, that is our reporter Carol Jenga with an updated report from the 4K and Young Farmers Club demonstration plots, where young farmers are making huge milestones in agriculture. Well, of course, that is from the Nairobi International Trade Fair 2024. We shall be keeping you updated in our subsequent bulletins. For now, we move on. Hospitality industry players are calling for adoption of an open sky policy as a way of accelerating tourist arrivals in preparation for this year's Kenya Tourism Week to be marked in Mombasa. Officials from Mombasa County Government and tourism service providers highlighted the need for Kenya to join the list of countries that have liberalized their airspace.
Speaking during the inspection of the iconic Mamangina waterfront where the celebrations will take place, Mombasa County Tourism, Culture and Trade CC Mohammed Osman said the event is geared towards promoting tourism. He noted that the celebrations are meant to discuss ways on how the ocean can be tapped to generate more revenue.
Na kama Mombasa County, kama Department ya Tourism, tumeonea kwamba hii mambo la tourism, kuregesha Mombasa katika enzi zake zamani, tumeform the first in Kenya Mombasa Tourism Council, ikaongozwa na chairman wetu na members hapa, ya kuhakikisha hii dau la tourism ni washikadau wenyewe wanalisukuma. Kama county sisi ni kuhakikisha kwamba there is a conducive environment ya kwamba turegeshe Mombasa ile hadhi yake ambayo ilikuwa zamani.
He joined calls by the hospitality industry to have Kenya adopt an open sky policy to boost tourism, noting that restricting the air services market to protect shares held by state-owned airline was slowing efforts to net more tourists.
Na sherehe ya hii mwaka ambao tutaianzia kuanzia Alhamisi, tutaianzia na Jomo Kenyatta Airport. Wakumbuka kwamba 8% ya tourists ambao wanakuja ndo wanaland hapa Jomo Kenyatta, 65% wanaland Jomo Kenyatta, and that is why ukiangalia gavana wetu ni kwanza kubwa ambao wamepigania ni kwamba open sky.
Ahead of the 4-day event, food bazaars and cultural exhibitions are already being set up at Mamangina waterfront.
Tumeweza kuweka mikakati ya kuweza kuadhimisha siku hii ya utalii duniani, na tuna mambo mengi ambayo yameweza kupangwa, ikiwemo sherehe ya mankuli na chakula za kitamaduni ambayo itafanyika hapa Mamangina waterfront. Lakini la muhimu sana ni shughuli na product mpya ambayo tunaianzisha Mombasa mwaka huu, ambayo ni tuk-tuk rally ama mashindano ya tuk-tuk.
The Nairobi Securities Exchange is targeting earnings from betting money and private equity funds to capitalize the money markets. The NSE Chief Executive Officer Frank Mwiti says capital injection will attract new listings, with 10 firms finalizing plans to go public.
That's in circles, as I said, in unit trust, in real estate, in government securities, in betting opportunities and things like that. We want to come up with good technology-enabled solutions that will enable a lot of that capital to come to our market. Number two, we also want to drive a lot higher investor education and financial literacy programs, because we think that without that, some of the capital that can come into our market.
Jeremiah Mukopi is the new Directorate of Criminal Investigation DCI Women's Volleyball Team head coach. Mukopi joins DCI from Equity Bank men's volleyball team, where he was the assistant coach to Sami Kirongo. This will be the first time Mukopi will be heading a women's club, having had stints with men's sides in Kenya Airport Authority and Equity Bank. Mukopi has, however, trained Kenya Secondary School's games outfits, Tetu High School, Mautuma Secondary School and Kwantanze Secondary School. Mukopi will be assisted by Patrick Sang. Mukopi is filling the gap left by head coach Daniel Bor, who passed away in April this year. Now, the fourth leg of the NCBA US Kids Junior Golf Foundation local tour saw new champions emerge at the Royal Nairobi Golf Club. Kaylin Monene won the 11 to 12-year-old girls category after a one-hole playoff with Sakanyu, whom they had tied on 82 points. Hope Odor recorded one of her best performances in the local tour to finish third.
Come back.
Now, RCD Mallorca came from behind to beat Real Betis 2-1 in a Spanish La Liga match played at the Estadio Benito Villamarin. Celso put the hosts ahead after 7 minutes, but no sooner had he scored than Dani Rodriguez equalized for Mallorca before Valerie scored the winner in added time. The Spanish La Liga continues tonight with Real Madrid at home to Deportivo Alaves, hoping to close in on Barcelona, who is top in the table standings.
Lo Celso, not so bad either. He scored twice, and he's going to do it again. That is a rocket. Giovanni Lo Celso. And with so many injuries for Betis, he's had to step up. But on the other side, Mallorca come right back with Dani Rodriguez. Less than 60 seconds later. Red, no. Yellow, yes. One-on-one with Dean. Mallorca coming the other way. That's a missed effort. There's Navarro. Big save, but it can't be stopped. So there's the first shot. Navarro is the one who spears it across the pitch. That is a world-class finish. First touch and nearly the second goal for Betis. Touch magic, and he's gotten the return options in the middle.
Well, that brings us to the end of our bulletin this afternoon. Thank you so much for choosing KBC Channel 1 Lunchtime News. My name is Jackie Wambiru. Our sign language interpreter is Brian Muraro. Enjoy the rest of the afternoon.
Where are you, Dokon? What are you trying to tell the whole class? You better not have taken my pictures when I was trying to put on those boxes. I will slaughter you.
You want us to believe you carried fresh meat in a kawago?
You can believe what you want, my friend. If only you could study with such energy.
Stop interfering. We are not interested in your unnecessary details. Actually, we are not even interested on whose house you're going to destroy.
Julia, you are very lucky. I don't want to spoil my nails because next time, where?
It was a wagon, his dad's wagon, the one that he drives on Thursdays.
How did you even know he drives a wagon on Thursdays? Women and poking their noses. So,
Nianze ni PIZZO out Kibera namba 8 na sasa mazona watch Grapevine Bana KBC Channel 1 A-Town.
How are you doing, my good people of the 254 and beyond? What's up, and welcome to this amazing show that is Grapevine.
Wagwan, welcome to the biggest, the baddest, extraordinary show right here in the 254 Manze. You already know. But Ati amedrop ngoma mbaya.
Yeah, he's back in the
Sherry.
music scene. And it's such a really, really dope song. We'll actually play it as we end the show. You know, towards the end of the show, we'll get to play it. It's a beautiful one.
It's a beautiful one, man. What do you think about the song?
That vibe of the Lingala, kind of rumba, always gets it. You know, it's always beautiful. Those beats, that vibe is just amazing.
Nimesahau lyrics ya ngoma ninge flex nayo lakini before the end of the show we'll definitely do that, man.
Yeah. We have so much lined up for you today, so you do not want to miss any single beat of the show. Tell a neighbor, to tell another, to tell a friend that we are starting off this show. My name is Vivian Dago. You can simply just call me Miss V.
Jokamula, the partydaddy.co.ke, aka your girlfriend got my website.
And you know what this right here is?
Grapevine.
What you gotta do?
Okay, now we start off by taking a look at one contemporary dance style that recently made headlines in the concluded 2024 Paris Olympics. And by now you already should know what I'm talking about, and that is breaking or break dancing, which is done by B-boys and B-girls. And we'll be having a look or taking a look of just what break dancing is all about, where it all began, plus everything in between. Enjoy the feature.
Ile dansa sa ingine yende pile up zungusha kiolo alafu
In the last couple of years, the dance scene has grown in so many ways in East Africa. This has been fueled by shows like the Sakata Kenya Dance Academy and Red Bull Dance Your Style, not forgetting the many popular music videos. As the local entertainment scene speedily twirls into a lucrative business venture, among the young and agile Abantines, the gifted have now resorted to spending hours training tirelessly to ensure they hone their dancing skills that is slowly emerging as an acceptable profession. Additionally, dance schools are slowly coming up in Kenya, offering contemporary dance lessons. Today we take a look at one contemporary dance style that recently made headlines at the 2024 Olympics in Paris, and that is breaking. So what is breaking? Well, breaking is a tenet of hip-hop culture that is as old as the movement, if not older.
For the breaking, as it's called, it's complicated. When people look at it, it looks like it needs a lot of strength to do, but it's not particularly true. That it's not just a male-dominated thing, or it's not a male thing. It can be done by big girls as well. And especially with the younger generation, we have younger generation who the girls are really pushing to be part of the dance community as well. It's one of the things we're really trying to do, to promote more girls to be part of this as well.
When hip-hop was in its formative years and the housing projects of New York in the 1960s, breaking crews were already entertaining crowds at block parties. Together with DJs and graffiti artists, they laid the foundation for a way of life that has grown to become a dominant force in popular culture and even political conversations.
While scholars and enthusiasts look into the details of this and that, most hip-hop fans are still learning about this peculiar form of dancing.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Breaking is a highly acrobatic form of dancing that requires participants to control their bodies in numerous ways. There are 4 main stages followed when performing the art. Top rock is the first stage, where the b-boy or b-girl moves their feet in while in a standing position. The down rock then follows, where the performer uses their hands and feet while on the floor. The breaker then transitions into the power move, the main course. This stage requires athleticism, power, and energy to perform maneuvers like the windmill or head spin. The B-boys or B-girls will then finish the performance with a freeze, where they remain still as a statue and try to hold balance in a contorted body position for some time. These principles and skills have been passed down from generation to generation and from city to city, Nairobi being one of them. Quite a number of breaking competitions have happened in Kenya, from Kenya Breaking Battle in 2020, organized by Floor Rippers, Slam Dance Africa in 2019, RDE Champs in 2020, Red Bull Dance Your Style in 2019, Awakening Battle in 2019 and 2021, the latest being Breaking Mtaani that took place recently at the Alliance Francaise in Nairobi.
Okay.